Good morning, everybody. It's Tammy here. I'm doing this impromptu video because I woke up just with this type of energetic 911 emergency video call from the universe. I had another acquaintance take his life, and I've had multiple conversations this week with people who are dealing with being frazzled, overwhelmed, tremendous amount of anxiety, stress, tension, depression, traumas. Their traumas are being uprooted and coming to the surface to be dealt with. And it's also been the summer solstice. So the energy is one of coming fully into oneself and taking action, using that fire element, fire energy to connect to our passions and our drive and how we show up in the world. And so that is that energy, if it's not being used appropriately or constructively, it can create a frazzled, overwhelm, a burnout, it can just really overtake you and overrun you and drain you. The opposite of that is the energy is coming into you and it's bringing in this this feeling of empowerment that maybe you're not used to, never felt before, and then it's calling you to action in regards to your passions and what you're actually wanting to create and accomplish in your life. But because of fear, of shame, of guilt, of hesitancy, or concern of what that will look like on the outside, it ends up being placed into all these other little projects and places of things that's not really in alignment with what you're actually wanting to do. And so it then creates like this frenetic, chaotic anxiety, and it's like you're doing stuff but nothing's getting done. So I've been running into so many people like that all week long. And then some people aren't just getting burned out, they're snuffing themselves out. They're just taking themselves out of the picture completely, which is not exactly what it may look like, because everything is energy and they're just going to carry on in a different way. So anyway, I wanted to address that and speak to everyone who is having a really tough time. It's turbulent, y'all. It is really tough. It is really, really tough. You have your personal stuff going on, and then we have the collective stuff going on, and then you have the spiritual stuff, this call from your soul. We're all being called forth right now, and it's all interwoven, and it's a lot. It is a lot to deal with, and you may be feeling things, feeling at depths that you've never felt before. You may be experiencing things in a more sensitive way than you've ever felt before or experienced before. So I want to give you some tools, some ways of handling and managing all this right now. The first thing I would say is to connect. Connect not through Facebook, not through Instagram, not through liking someone's comment. Like, really connect. Call someone on the phone, hear their voice. Better yet, use technology to connect through Zoom or through, Facebook Live, or through face-to-face, FaceTime. And beyond that, please just go see someone in person. And when you go see someone in person, put your phone away. Take 30 seconds to even 1 minute and just look them in the eyes. Connect with them heart to heart, eye to eye. Look into them, see them, let them know that you see them. And when they reciprocate, listen to what they have to say. Let them be a mirror for you. Let them show you how beautiful and wonderful you are. When they give you a compliment, believe them. Take it in, receive it. So connecting and being receptive to one another. And then secondly, I want to use the example of the airplane. You know, when you fly and the oxygen mask drop, they say put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then attend to the person next to you, help the person next to you. So that's where we're at right now. Is there's so much grabbing our attention. There's so much we need to focus on that we need to put our energy into. But if we aren't resupplying ourselves, if we're not providing care for ourselves, then we're not going to be able to continue to take action, the right action that we need to take. So the hardest part of this, and I still have a hard time with this, is admitting how deeply we need to give care for ourselves. What does that mean? Like, you know, we don't want to perceive ourselves as weak or as abnormal, or, you know, that we are mentally ill or that we are challenged in our lives. We want to, you know, our society teaches us to show up in a very masculine way, that we're strong and that we are capable and that we're tough as steel and all of that. And we're in a time where those old rules, those old ways of doing things, they're not working anymore. If you haven't noticed, it's not working anymore. So what do you need to do for yourself now? Ask that from your inside and move from that centered place and do things that are in alignment with what you need. So for me, it's walks in nature. It's grabbing a book and putting my phone down and sitting on the earth underneath a tree and reading, you know, a beautiful poem by Rumi or some other spiritual master. Maybe it's going back to the scriptures. But if you go back to the scriptures, don't just read the scriptures. Listen to what it's teaching you and then put that into practice. It's not just a daily devotion where you read and you're done. It's a daily devotion where you read, you take the lesson, and then you apply it the rest of the day. And then beyond that, it's taking, you know, using aromatherapy and using these beautiful smells of all these beautiful flowers that we have around us and uplifting our spirits through nature. If you can't get outside, and if you're in your home, and if you're in your bed and you're depressed, maybe you can make it to the tub and get an Epsom salt bath. It's not just for your muscles, and it's not just for, you know, lactic acid. Salt is a cleanser of energy. It will recharge you. It will revitalize you. Use essential oils in your water that are in alignment with what your personal needs are. Maybe you need to be calmed. Maybe you need soothing. Use some lavender. Maybe you need some upliftment. Maybe you need to draw your energy up and come into yourself and actually come into your body. So use something that's more fruity, more floral, more citrusy. Be careful not to burn your skin. Don't let that acid burn you. But it's making these types of decisions and choices for yourself and not relying on everything outside of yourself to come in and fix you. Okay? This is coming into deep relationship to self and saying, what are my needs? And if my society is not providing that for me, if my husband is not providing that for me, if my job is not providing that for me, I will provide it for me. Okay, so it's really taking that action and stating what type of life you want, what kind of life you want for yourself, and just not giving concern any longer to what that may look like to the outside world or what they might think of it. Okay. And then the other thing is just come into your prayer, come into your meditation, but come into a place where you're sitting with yourself, where the conversation is with you and what you consider to be divine, the all that is. And be receptive to the healing energy that provides for oneself, okay? So anyway, I just had to make this call. So many people are going down, and it's scary. It's just, you know, I can't keep my silence any longer. I've been doing this self-study stuff for 33 years now, and I've not had a confidence in myself that I could share these things and make a difference. But if I can just help one person today, if I can just help one person show up in life or not take their life, then it will be worth it. So many blessings to each of you. Know that you're not alone, that the turbulence is real, the overwhelm is real. The anxiety, fear, stress, and depression are currently appropriate responses to what is going on in our life and in our worlds, and that it is information. It's not a place where you get stuck. It is providing you with information, providing contrast to show you where to move and how to take right action for yourself to change the storyline. Okay, everybody? I love you very much. So many blessings, and hang in there. We're all in this together. So much love. Namaste.